African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoy, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command in combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation as of May 29, 2025. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue to conduct a special military operation. Units of the North Group of Forces defeated concentrations of manpower and equipment of a heavily mechanized Ranger, 2 airborne assault brigades, an assault regiment, 2 assault centers of the Special Operations Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and a territorial defense brigade in the areas of the settlements of Velikiy Prikol, Alexievka, Jarino, Kotin, Novaya Sich, Gnatovka, Chervon, Kripovshchina, Korchakovka, and Sadki in Sumy Oblast that the Ukrainian armed forces lost up to 185 servicemen, 4 vehicles, and 5 field artillery guns. 2 ammunition depots were destroyed. As a result of active operations, units of the West Military Group liberated the settlement of Stroyevka in the Kharkiv region. They defeated the formations of 2 mechanized, motorized infantry brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces and a territorial defense brigade in the areas of the settlements of Kupiansk, Glushchenkovo in the Kharkov region, Karpovka, Redkadub, and Kirovsk in the Donetsk People's Republic. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost more than 200 servicemen, 2 armored combat vehicles, 8 cars, and 4 ammunition depots. Units of the Southern Group of Troops took decisive action to liberate the settlement of Gnatovka in the Donetsk People's Republic. The manpower and equipment of 4 mechanized, assault and airmobile brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces were damaged in the areas of the settlements of Alexandrivka, Ilyanovka, Berstok, Seversk, Serebryanka, Konstantinovka, and Ivanopoli of the Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy lost up to 240 servicemen, 3 armored combat vehicles, 6 pickup trucks, and an artillery piece. 2 electronic warfare stations, 3 ammunition depots, and a supply depot were destroyed. Units of the Center Group of Forces, as a result of active actions, liberated the settlement of Shevchenko Pervoye in the Donetsk People's Republic. They defeated the formations of the heavy mechanized, 4 mechanized, airborne assault brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the Marine Brigade, and 2 brigades of the National Guard in the areas of the settlements of Rusynyar, Petrovskoy, Popovyar, Ulyanovka, Alexievka, Vladimirovka, Novosergivka, Novonikolayevka, Koptivo, Krasnoarmeysk, and Novoekonomicheskoye of the Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy's losses amounted to more than 390 servicemen, 2 Cossack combat armored vehicles, 7 cars, and a field artillery gun. Units of the East Group of Forces continued to advance into the depths of the enemy's defense. They defeated the manpower and equipment of 2 mechanized, airborne assault, airmobile brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and a Marine Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Komar, Zaporizhia, Novopol of the Donetsk People's Republic, Temirovka, and Guliapol of the Zaporizhia region. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost over 160 servicemen, 6 armored combat vehicles, 11 cars, 2 artillery pieces, and 4 electronic warfare stations. Units of the Dnieper Group of Forces defeated formations of a mechanized brigade, 3 coastal defense brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, and a territorial defense brigade in the areas of the settlements of Pavlivka in the Zaporizhia region, Berislav, Nikolskoye, Antonovka, and Veletskoye in the Kherson region. The enemy lost up to 70 servicemen and 9 vehicles. Electronic warfare and electronic intelligence stations and 2 ammunition depots were destroyed. Operational tactical aviation, attack unmanned aerial vehicles, missile forces, and artillery of the Russian Armed Forces groups have damaged a workshop for the production of attack unmanned aerial vehicles, a shelter for a U.S.-made Mars multiple launch rocket system, ammunition depots, and temporary deployment points of Ukrainian Armed Forces units in 137 districts. Air defense systems shot down 6 U.S.-made JDAM guided aerial bombs and 123 aircraft-type unmanned aerial vehicles, including 47 outside the Special Military Operations Zone. In total, since the beginning of the Special Military Operation, the following have been destroyed: 663 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 60,318 unmanned aerial vehicles, 607 anti-aircraft missile systems, 23,631 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,565 combat vehicles of multiple launch rocket systems, 25,391 field artillery and mortar guns, 36,138 units of special military vehicles. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.